Hey everybody, this is Pastor Jake. I'm here with Pastor Mike, and first of all, we just want to say thank you so much for the work that you do in volunteering here at LBC. You know, I come on Sunday mornings and I see dozens and dozens of people serving, and it just blows me away. And so we just want to say thank you all sincerely so much for what you do. You're serving the Lord here at LBC. We're here today, we're introducing our new child protection policies as a church. We've been working on this for a long time. About a year ago, we formed a child protection policy committee. We wrote some policies, and then those policies have worked their way through the elder board discussions, and we're ready to go. We're ready to implement these for our ministries. But before we dive into the details of what these policies are, I just thought it'd be helpful for us to take a moment and talk through, why are we doing this? Why bother spending time on child protection policies? I mean, most of us kind of know each other. We're in a small town. So Mike, why would we bother thinking this through?
Yeah, one of the biblical responsibilities that we're given as elders here by the Lord is to be protecting God's people, and I see this as part of that. We're to watch over the spiritual well-being of God's people and also the physical well-being.
Right.
And that's from the youngest to the oldest. And so these policies that we've thought through, we're just looking for a good way to keep God's people safe.
Right.
From the time that they're young all the way up through. And not only protecting the students themselves, the children, but also the workers against accusations.
Right.
In the world that we live in now, that's a real thing.
Right.
And so we try to think through what's the best policies for that.
Right.
It's kind of what we're coming up with here.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we have a lot of people from the community coming in for like VBS and different things, and
yeah, and God has blessed us with a reputation of being a safe place to take your kids and drop them off here in town, and
right.
We want to keep that gift that God has given to us.
Right. Right. I just think too, predators look for places with low fences. And what I mean by that is predators are looking for churches where nobody's on guard, where there aren't maybe many rules or policies. And, the sad reality is we live in a world where people do come to churches looking to take advantage of other people. And, an article recently came out against the kind of Southern Baptist Church, kind of a sad deal. Huge denomination, a lot of churches, biggest Protestant denomination in the States. But it highlighted 700 victims of just people being taken advantage of, even children down to 3. And so the whole point in talking about this and doing these policies, it's not to hit the panic button. It's not to get everyone to be suspicious of everybody else. But the point is it's healthy, I think, for us as a church to be aware of the context that we're in right now, and it's healthy for us to be on guard against danger that might come. We don't want to be the church with the low fences. So that's what this is kind of all about, and boy, you as a volunteer play a critical role in helping us to keep the children safe here at LBC. So thank you for taking a moment to watch this and to read the child protection policy and to take the quiz. We just appreciate you all so much. Yeah. Thanks. Well, thanks for watching this short video on the child protection policy and manual for the nursery ministry here at Lamar's Bible Church. Thank you so much for serving the Lord here in the nursery. That is such an important ministry, and we are so thankful for you. The purpose of this short little video is to underscore some important things in our policy and in our nursery manual, and also to share some things that may be a bit of a tweak to how we had been doing things in the past. So here's just a couple of things to keep in mind. Number one, no physical form of discipline is allowed when dealing with children in the nursery. So this means that any form of hitting or spanking or slapping a child, that is expressly forbidden. If a child's acting out of control to the point where they need some kind of discipline, this is really your signal that it's time to go ahead and get the parents and bring them back into the nursery. So again, any form of physical punishment or spanking or slapping, anything like that, is forbidden. Second, no photos or videos may be taken of children while they're in the nursery. This is an important thing to keep in mind. Now, no matter how cute that little baby might be, you're just not allowed to take pictures or to take videos of children and post those or send those or keep them on your phone. It's just not allowed. On that note, I do want to mention this. We don't allow volunteers to show videos to children either while they're in the nursery. So I know a YouTube video of Clifford the big red dog may seem pretty innocent, but nonetheless, showing videos to children while they're in the nursery is not allowed. Third, let's talk about check-ins. Children must be checked into the nursery. Let's talk about this a little bit. If a visitor comes, please make sure that you check them in using a visitor check-in card. Those cards can be found in one of those drawers underneath the counter. We have 5 of those cards. And so even if a child's only there once or twice a year, we do ask that you go ahead and take that card and scan them in. You can do that on the outside wall of the nursery. If you're unsure of how to do that, you can come and ask me, or most of the volunteers know how to do that by now. I do want to note, make sure that you ask any newcomers into the nursery to fill out a registration sheet. You can see those hanging on the wall in a little file holder there. And the reason for this is if there's any kind of an emergency, say a medical emergency with a child, we need to know right away who to go ahead and contact and who to send to come back to the nursery. Now, if for some reason the check-in system is down, that has happened, we ask that just take the little clipboard and have parents sign in children and have them sign them out when they leave. Next, we're now asking parents to not enter into the nursery unless, of course, they're serving that morning. Now, this may be a bit of a culture change for us, but we've really talked this through as a committee and as elders, and here are a couple reasons for this. First, it's easy for children to escape from the nursery when there's a lot of traffic coming in and out. So just for that reason, we're asking that parents stay on the other side of the counter until we go ahead and grab their children and hand them to them. But second, we're doing this for security reasons as well. As a ministry, it's important that we have control over who comes into the nursery, in and out of the nursery. And so for those reasons, we're asking that parents stay on the other side of the counter of the nursery. Now, there may be mothers who are wishing to change the diaper of their child. You can point mothers to the nursing mother's room. There's a changing table in there that they can use to change diapers. So do want to point that out. That is a bit of a culture change. So just asking you to kindly, politely ask parents to stay on the other side of the counter. Next, restroom trips. Some of the children may be potty training, may actually use the restroom that's connected to the nursery there. As a volunteer, if you're helping them, just make sure that half door, the top half of that door, remains open, just for accountability's sake. While you're on duty as a volunteer, just keep this in mind. You should never be alone with a child in a bathroom where all the doors are closed. Next, let's talk about our sick policy. Sick season comes every year, and as a volunteer, just be sensitive to what our sick policy is. So you can read this in our nursery manual. Just asking for you to be familiar with that. So kind of an example would be if a child comes and they have head lice. What do you do? Do you let them into the nursery? Well, in a case like that, we're asking, no, if you have head lice, you need to be treated before you can come in. So just be aware of some of those things, what the guidelines are for that. Remember that when parents drop their children off, they're trusting us that we're providing a healthy environment for their children. So we need to keep that in mind as well. Last, we're asking that before you leave the room that you tidy up, you clean up. I was just in the nursery the other day at the end of a shift and noticed that the crew there had just cleaned the place all up and it was spotless. So thank you guys for doing that. One thing to keep in mind, if children have toys in their mouths or they're chewing on them, there's a box in the nursery where those toys should go. Please make an attempt to put those toys in those boxes, and then at the end of the shift, you can take a disinfectant spray and spray those and wipe them down. All right, those are just a few things to keep in mind. So we do have a big picture here. We do have 2 documents for you to review, the Child Protection Policy and then the Nursery Manual. So we're asking you to read both of those documents and then take the short open book quiz that pulls questions from both of those documents. So again, thank you so much for serving. Your ministry is so important and so valuable, and we really appreciate you. Thanks.